everybody.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. You're listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only Steve Harvey. Man, oh man, got a radio show. Yep, trying to make it work too. I'm not trying. I'm getting it. I'm getting it done to the best of my abilities. Now, something funny my father taught me. He said, son, when you've done all you can do, if you've done your absolute best, and you look up and it didn't get the job done, take a deep breath and do some more. That used to bug me, man, when my father used to tell me, he said, son, when you've done your absolute best and you think you can't do no more, you've done all you can, and it still don't get the job done, take yourself a deep breath and do some more. And you know what? I found that has worked every single time. Every single time. Because what my father knew was that what you think is your breaking point, or what you think is your all in all, he says, son, it's just something about it, man. If you just gather yourself, you got a little bit more. Everybody got some more. And I got to be honest with you, it has worked. It has helped me greatly. And, everybody does have some more. I tell that to my sons all the time. Dad, I did my best. Well, let me ask you something else. Could you have done anything else? Could you have studied a little harder? Could you have shown up a little bit earlier? Could you stayed a little bit later? Yeah. Well, then, okay, that's what you should have done then. See, there's always a way. But if you're going to create excuses, if you're going to make them up all the time about why you don't get it done, I have a very, very sad statement for you right now. You're never going to get anything done. You're never going to get to the top. Not to the top. You can get halfway up. Now, you can get a third of the way up. You can get 3/4 of the way up. But if you don't have that little extra reserve in you, you're not getting to the top. The top is only reserved for those that have the wherewithal and the power, the desire, the drive, and the gut-wrenching effort to get to the top. The top is reserved only for the top. It's just the top. There ain't but one top. In the middle done ain't it. The top of the mountain. Halfway, it's a different view at the top. Things look different from up top. So if you want to get to the top of whatever, your profession, your field, your career, whatever it is, you got to do extra. You have to do more. More is expected of you. More, but here's what's really crazy. More is required of you. Don't live your life in a lackadaisical state. Don't wake up every day with the feeling of, whatever happens, happens. Nah, man, have a say-so in your life. First of all, let me ask you something. Who has God? Name the person that God has given authority over you. Name the person. But who is the person? Nobody has domain over you. God didn't create that person. So what you sitting here for, man? What are you sitting here for, letting people who do not know direct your path? Why are you worried about all these people with what they got to say about you and all these people with what they got to think about you when here's the news flash? They don't know either. All these people that you overly concerned about, all these people that you go into these answers for, they need answers too. Stop. What are you doing here? Gather yourself for a minute. Here is a solution to all of that. You have one source that will be there for you to the end of time, and that is your relationship with God. That is the one thing that's solid and for sure. He's behind the wall. He's in your jail cell. He rides with you in the police car. He's with you on your job up at the school. He's down there in the board meetings with you. He goes with you when you travel on planes. He sits with you when you're in a relationship. He helps you with your parenting skills. He helps you. He's there to assist you. If you do the right things, he show you and guide you to your next job. When you lose your job and you think it's a wrap, there's some good behind it, man. God is always working on your behalf to those that believe. You just got to believe. He don't ask you for nothing else. Believe in me. That's all he asks you to do. What you tripping for, man? And then when you make the decision to believe in him and it comes out your mouth from time to time somewhere, what you worried about what people say? What you worried about what they think for? Why? Who are they? They need God too. You telling them you found something new, that you gonna give this a shot right here. Now they got some yin yang and some yakety yak to say about that, when they need God too. That's what amazes me, man, about people. Sit up in here, man, be knocking your dream and stuff. Look, if you're an atheist, man, do your thing. Do your thing. But you can't create no laws where I can't do mine. That don't make no sense, man. That makes no sense at all to me. You have the right to go be whatever you want to be. You know, if you don't like the fact that I'm in school, got my head bowed down and I'm saying a prayer before I take this test, just don't bow your head, don't you pray. But if some kids want to get together, that's some crazy mess. That's what happened in our schools. We took prayer out of schools. Now look at our schools. You send your child to school and someone else comes back home. That's a whole nother thing right here. That's not what I want to talk to you about. But I was just throwing it out because, hey, man, your relationship with God is essential to your success as a person. It's essential to your existence. It's essential to where you're trying to go and what you're trying to be, because he made you. Why would you not talk to the person that made you to find out what he created you for? I ain't talking about your parents. Who made your parents? This is God. We created in his image. Why would you not talk to your maker to see why you got made? That don't make sense to you. If you're sitting and gotten yourself in a situation, you sitting in a jail cell somewhere, you locked up, you doing some time, man, be a good time for you to reflect. But whatever your situation is, man, God can get you through it. He can give you the strength, the courage, the wherewithal, the understanding, everything you need, the wisdom to get you through anything you're going through. You just got to touch base with him. I need God every single day of my life. And what he's done for me, man, off the chain. But guess what? He'll do the same thing for you.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Eric Andre. I made a podcast called Bombing about absolutely tanking on stage. I'm talking about your most miserable experience as a performer. I tell gnarly stories, and I talk to friends about their worst moments of bombing in all sorts of ways. Bombing on stage, bombing in public, bombing in life. Like the time I stole a girl's phone during a set and she jumped on stage and threw a big haymaker punch to my nose. I want to know what's the worst way they've ever bombed or performed way too drunk or high. And was there ever a time where they thought they were going to crush and they stunk it up? Subscribe to my podcast, Bombing with Eric Andre, to hear more crazy stories from me and my friends. I'll have guests like Sam J, Dulce Sloan, Michelle Buteau, Mac DeMarco, DJ Doug Pound, Saturday Night Live's Sarah Sherman, and more. Listen to Bombing with Eric Andre on Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is upon us. The arrival of a new day is here. The Lord has blessed us to come along. We are grateful, we are respectful, and we are ever watchful. I, for one, would like to say that God is in control. And I'm going to let him do it the way he going to do it. I am in be still mode today, all the way through Friday. I'm in be still mode. I am just in a position where I just got to let God handle this one. It's bigger than me, so I'm in be still mode. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shirley Strawberry.
Don't move, Steve. Be still. Good morning.
Carla Farrell.
That's right. Peace be still. Good morning.
What up, Junior?
Oh, blessed and highly favored, moving in the right direction.
Nephew Tommy.
Yes, sir. Peace be still.
Yes, sir.
Wait on it. Wait on it. Wait on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to do sometimes. I ain't going to tell you no tell.
Yeah, because we're so patient.
Because you want to raise your voice and your hand and do something, say something, but you ain't.
The Lord be taking a long time, though, sometimes. He does.
Man.
He ain't taking a long time. He doing it right on time.
And smited them.
Lord,
no, you got to pull.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, I ain't saying like smite as in kill, but, like a light stroke,
Oh, boy.
Trip them up a little bit and they
Are
like,
you crazy right now?
Fall down some steps, get your hand ran over by the bus,
No, you're waiting
what, your
on him
hand
to
is
bless
just in
you.
the street?
Yeah.
your hand, how you break your fall with your hand and the bus just run over both your wrists? Just stuff like that. Not his
waiting
hand,
on him to bless
his
you.
hand.
You don't want to be saying this. You're waiting on him to bless you, remember?
I am. I would just, that's why I was saying this why I don't do that other stuff. I don't ask for stuff like that.
I get the feeling that you are not one of these people that pray for your enemies. You don't do that.
Oh, I'm not at that level of Christianity. No, I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't
You're
either.
64 now.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Did he
what
blow
got
his
to
lips?
do with it? I'm 64, but
Yeah.
you talking about advanced Christianity.
That's just basic Christianity.
Basic.
Christianity 405. That's what
No, basic
101.
is, no, basic is like, stuff like, do unto others as you would have and do unto you.
Love your enemies.
No, that's you getting into advanced now. Once you throw them enemies in there, that's advanced Christianity.
Continue to pray for you.
Thou shalt covet thy neighbor's wife. Then I can honor that when I do that. But thou shalt not kill. That's basic. I'm good with that one. I ain't got to kill nobody. But now,
Turn the other cheek.
No, that's advanced. That's way advanced. You asking me.
That's too much for you.
You coming too strong now. Hold on.
That's grad school right
You've
there.
been a Christian all your life.
That's PhD right there.
All right, listen.
I'm still doing 101.
Coming up at 32 minutes after the hour, we'll hear from the nephew as he runs that prank back right after this. You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show. All right, it is time now to start your morning off with the nephew and run that prank back. What you got for us, Neff?
This right here is stolen car. Stolen car. Cat dog, if you would.
Hello?
Hello, I'm trying to reach a Trevor, please.
Okay. Yeah, that's me.
Sir, you purchased a navy blue from a used car lot dealership called Car Lot. I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 months ago. Am I right?
Right. It was 6 months ago.
Okay. Now, you've been paying notes on this car, I know, for the last 6 months.
Right.
And,
right.
I hate to be a burden of bad news. Actually, my name is Detective Justin, and I'm giving you a call to let you know that the actual vehicle, this 2001 navy blue that you purchased, is actually a stolen vehicle. And we've actually been looking for this car for the last, been pretty much close to a year now, maybe a little over a year. We've been looking for this. I work in the auto theft division. And
okay, wait a minute, hold on. Who you say you are again?
Detective Justin, sir. And I'm in the auto theft division here at the police department.
Auto theft? Ain't nobody stolen. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think you got the wrong guy, man, because my car's legit.
Well, no, sir. It's and I've done the trace on it, and I know this is probably a shock to you, but we're right on point with this thing. You've got a 2001 navy blue. You did buy it at the car lot dealership, and that and it's the exact one. The license plate, sir, they do match up. And I know this is a bit of a shock to you, but your car is actually a stolen car. So the dealership, sir, actually sold you a stolen car. And I know you did not know that. I know that it was not any information that you already knew. And I know you thought that you were just purchasing a legitimate car. Yeah. But you have a stolen car, Mr. Trevor. And
No, man, no, I think you got the wrong person because this car is not stolen for real. Man, this is not stolen.
Sir, I can go all day with you and try to make you understand what's going on here, and I know it's probably some blurry information that's not clear to you, but at the end of the day, your car is stolen. I am going to have to either get someone to come out and impound it, or you...
No, I think y'all might need to go back over y'all records, man, because I think y'all, on the real, I think y'all got the wrong person.
Sir,
all right, for real.
I'm going to tell you once, and I'm going to tell you again. You have a car that's stolen that I have to have in my possession by the end of the day. Now,
you ain't getting by the end of the day, for real, man.
You have a stolen car, and you're going to need to bring that car into the police station so we can get this thing rectified.
I ain't bringing in, man, for real, man. Hold on, let me call about this, man. I don't know about all this you're telling me, for real.
Sir, I understand what you're saying, but do you realize you're talking to a police officer here? I am Detective Justin.
Who you are, man? I'm finna call. Hold on.
Is no longer, sir. We've had to actually shut them down for the time being until we get quite a few cars rectified. That I've got more than just your vehicle, sir. That has auto theft tied to it. Now,
man, hold on.
There's two things. Either you're going to bring it to me or I'm going to come get it. Now, which one do you want to do?
Bringing to you ain't coming to get for real.
Sir, I don't want to have this to have to go to a level of where it doesn't need to be, but I need to get that car in my possession.
Okay, look. Listen to what I'm telling you. Okay, you listening?
I'm listening, sir.
Okay, look. Unless somebody gonna pay me my $377.52 I've been paying for the last 6 months. Unless you're going to pay me that, plus give me back my that I trade in to get this. Man, I ain't trying to hear what you talking about, for real. Nah, this is you coming at me with, man. I work too hard to be keeping up these notes right here, man. I got that and my rent to take care of, and you coming to talk about you finna take my car because something that happened before I bought it? Which I don't even know if this is true. Like I said, I think you got me mixed up with somebody else. Why y'all just now coming at me talking this? I ain't heard nothing about this before.
Sir, it's taken us a while to actually track down the car and actually find out exactly where it was. I've tracked this car for the last 8-9 months, and I finally found it. You are the one that's actually has it in your possession. It happens all the time. It's an unlikely situation, but I got to get you to bring it in. And I
ain't bringing in. You hear me? I ain't bringing in. Y'all not coming to get from me unless somebody give me my $377.52 I've been paying for the last 6 months, plus get my back.
Sir, I'm sure you're probably long gone by now. It's probably.
That don't give me something. Okay, then y'all need to at least just come with the money. Come with the money. I just go get another ride from somewhere else.
Sir, I can't sit here and negotiate with you. I'm just a detective that's on this actual case. And I know it's a trying situation, but I am going to have to send some officers out there that do this type of thing. They pick up these cars and bring them into the...
I wish you would send somebody out here to come get my car. And if you can't negotiate with me, you need to find somebody that can. You bring somebody out here if you want to. Don't bring somebody. I got something for hell. I've been working too hard, man. I'm working a graveyard shift, and I'm putting in the overtime and got to stay late. So man, I'm working too hard to try to get this car, man. So bring out here if you want to, for real.
Sir.
Huh?
Sir, calm. I got to get you to calm down. I mean, you're getting a little out.
You calm me down after you done told me my car's stolen, and y'all talking about coming to get it from me?
Sir, I know this is a surprise, and I understand that, and you got an honest living, an honest job, and I understand that, but some people have done some dishonest things, and that's what's happened here. Somebody's done some...
my fault? That ain't my problem right there. That ain't my problem. Everything was legit with my answer when I first got it, so why is it a problem now? I'm not understanding that. All I'm saying is, if y'all come with my car, I'm going to y'all up. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? I don't want to go any further. Can I say one more thing to you? Can I do that?
What?
This is Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You just got pranked by your cousin Eric.
Who did you say this was?
This is Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
What's tripping, man? What's up, man?
You got pranked by your cousin, man. Trevor, you all right? All right, man. Let me ask you something. You got to tell me, baby, what's the baddest radio show in the land?
Man, y'all crazy, man. It's that Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All All right, nephew, thank you. Coming up next,
Thank you.
Ask the Chief Love Officer.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, guys, time now for Ask the CLO. This one is from Kim in Detroit. Kim writes, I need your honest opinion about my man. I'm not an insecure woman at all, so I don't mind that my boyfriend works in the sex industry. In fact, I met him at the swingers club that he works in. I just happened to go to the club Saturday night without telling him I was coming, and I walked up on him kissing a female at the bar. He turned bright red when he saw me. He said it's part of his job as bartender to entice women to get more drinks. Is it wrong to get mad if he's swinging at work without me knowing it? Come on, CLO.
What? You're in a relationship with a dude that you met at the swingers club. Let me ask you something. When you met him at the swingers club, wasn't he in there swinging?
I knew you was going to say.
Yeah.
Hollywood swinging.
So I don't give a damn if he do work there. If you work there, you a swinger. Ain't nobody at no swingers club watching all this activity go on and you ain't trying to participate. They don't pay this dude at the bar to kiss women to get them to buy more drinks. You ain't got to do that at the swingers club. Who in there ain't drinking? Who at the swingers club ain't kissing? Everybody in there kissing and drinking.
That's what you go there
Hoping
for, right?
that lead to more. Yes. I don't even understand what you're talking about. Am I wrong for getting mad at your man swinging without telling me? He was in there swinging before you met him. I don't give a damn what his job is. If you take tickets at the door, why would you take the job at the swingers club taking tickets at the door if you wasn't interested in swinging? You work at the strip club because you like strippers.
Okay.
Ain't nobody going down to Magic City talking about, man, hey, you got any openings for anybody that want to fry broccoli?
They not in there for that.
That ain't what you down there for, though. So come on, man. Come on, lady. Come on. Your man is a swinger. Hell, you a swinger.
Yes, thank you.
Swinger, swing. He's swinging. I don't know what to tell you, man. Come on.
In the words of my grandmama, I'm with you when you're right. Go ahead.
All right. Moving on to Jasmine, who's a podcast listener. She says, I've been dating a man for 7 months and he's really sweet normally, but I don't know what's happened to him. Last weekend, he treated me to a Mother's Day dinner on Sunday and he bought the sandals I asked for. The only problem is he got a size 9 and I wear a 7. And later that night, he did stuff he'd never done to me sexually and I didn't like it. I think he's got a Bigfoot side piece that's freakier than I am. Should I ask him?
Yeah, he bought that 9.
Come on,
He bought that size 9 because he was thinking about something. Yeah. What size you want? Give me a 9. If she don't want it, I got somewhere to take it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. She did something to you and you ain't like it. Yeah, there's somebody else. You wear a 7 and he bought a 9.
Yeah.
He
can look at that shoe and know there's a big difference between 7 and 9.
Right.
That'd be like me sitting up at the shoe store talking about, sir, what size you want? Oh, 8. Oh, excuse me, bruh, you want an 8? And nothing on my foot say 8. My foot's so big it look like I got 8 big toes.
Like what?
Yeah.
All right. So should she ask him is the question? What should she do?
Ask him. You think he gonna tell you?
Right.
What?
That's
Research.
What
do your homework. Anybody finna volunteer no information for y'all? What
makes them think they finna
You
get
can
that?
CLO what? What is it, CLO?
Should I ask him? Is he seeing somebody else? Yeah, good. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah.
Don't say it if you don't mean it.
No. Yeah, go ask him.
He gonna lie. He's going to lie.
Yeah.
I promise you, he gonna say no.
Right.
Honey.
I told the man for a 7, I ain't checked the size.
Yeah.
A
honey,
9.
Yeah. You know I wear
What
a 7.
about the-
Why'd you buy it? Are you cheating
Well,
on
what
me?
about the other night when you did all that new stuff to me?
Yeah, that I didn't
Girl,
even
I don't-
like, quite
you know,
frankly.
I mean, we ain't got to do it no more. You know what I'm saying? I just, try something.
Where you get that from?
Where I get it from, so I always kind of been thinking it, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
They say change of behavior definitely means cheating.
Oh, well, that ain't got nothing to do with it.
And who is they?
Who said that?
Yeah.
Who is you going there with it? Who is they?
They probably by their damn self.
Yeah, you're going to try to flip it.
Always, right? Always.
Oh, so you going to listen to them instead of me?
I'm your man.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right, we're moving on. DZ in Alabama says, I'm a 25-year-old woman and I'm pregnant with my first child. My baby is by a married man and his wife found out about the baby. We live in a small city and she's got a good job. So to avoid embarrassment, she wants to act like I'm having the baby for her as a surrogate. She wants to raise my child, and she said it's the only way my child will ever see his father. Wow. If I take them to court for child support, everyone will know our business. I'm stuck and feel like I have no other options. What should I do now? Wow.
You don't have any other options for what? Can't nobody make you do that, be a surrogate.
This is
and raise nobody. You don't let nobody buffalo you like that. You're the mother of the baby.
Right.
All that supersedes all other rights and claims.
That's right.
And so what if everybody know your business? You gonna let this woman take your baby from you because she got a good job. Hold up, heifer. Why don't I post what you said on Facebook?
How about that?
And
trying
why don't
to
I report to your job that you trying to bully me out my baby? Why don't we do that?
And won't let
Now,
see the baby.
who got the upper hand?
That's right. That's right.
Huh?
Yeah.
You can't do that to this girl. And he got to pay child support. It's a paternity test. It ain't nothing.
Yeah, that's it.
Give it down. Part of her good ass job gonna be paying child support. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Kind of what time
You nailed it. All right. Thank you, CLO.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Eric Andre. I made a podcast called Bombing about absolutely tanking on stage. I'm talking about your most miserable experience as a performer. I tell gnarly stories, and I talk to friends about their worst moments of bombing in all sorts of ways. Bombing on stage, bombing in public, bombing in life. Like the time I stole a girl's phone during a set and she jumped on stage and threw a big haymaker punch to my nose. I want to know what's the worst way they've ever bombed or performed way too drunk or high. And was there ever a time where they thought they were going to crush and they stunk it up? Subscribe to my podcast, Bombing with Eric Andre, to hear more crazy stories from me and my friends. I'll have guests like Sam J, Dulce Sloan, Michelle Buteau, Mac DeMarco, DJ Doug Pound, Saturday Night Live's Sarah Sherman, and more. Listen to Bombing with Eric Andre on Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
In 1973, Penthouse magazine launched Viva, one of the first erotic magazines for women. It was staffed by feminist writers and featured full frontal male nudity.
It was going to try to be for women what Penthouse was for men.
But Viva had one bulging obstacle. Its porn king publisher, Bob Guccione.
I mean, here he is, a guy wearing open shirts down to his waist and chains.
I'm Jennifer Romolini, and my new podcast, Stiffed, is the true, uncensored story of Viva magazine.
The covers were gorgeous. Inside, it was gorgeous. It was so well produced. And I thought, this is a work of art. I just loved looking at it.
How did a scrappy group of feminist journalists get involved with a porn king at the height of the sexual revolution? What were they trying to say? And were they doomed to fail? Listen to Stiffed on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Here's a question for you guys. What do you do before sex to make it more incredible?
No, I can't say that. I'll say something, but
man,
I was gonna say something really.
Is this tailor-made for you, Tommy?
I mean, I can give you some things. Yeah.
What you got, Tommy?
I mean,
You're always
For the
talking about
radio?
being naked.
I'm trying to filter it.
Edit it.
I'm trying to edit it down.
While you're editing, let me tell you, spur of the moment sex is always hot and exciting, but sometimes we have more time to prepare for upcoming sexy time, and putting that time to good use can help things, go to the next level, so to speak. Here's how to get into the mood in advance to make sex more amazing. Don't look bored like you already know this, Steve. Okay? Like you don't need any help in this area. Look at all the guys in the room like they just yes, like they could have written
of
this.
all the stuff about me, you ain't heard nobody talking about, what, he ain't nothing.
Okay, first of all, get in the mood. Time to start thinking about what's going to turn you on later.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you get in the mood. You start thinking about what's going to turn you on later. Okay, say it's now. When we get off, you start thinking about it now. So by the time we get off work and you get home.
All you got to do is tell me.
They polled the wrong
Tell
people.
you what? Tell you
If
what?
you mention it,
Hey,
we're going to do something when we get home.
Yeah.
Bam!
That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
For any man. That's
Men are
enough.
so easy.
Stop everything you doing, won't you?
Promise me something. I'm ready.
You know what's been turning me on lately? I've been catching her ironing, and I don't know what it is when I catch her ironing. I just, boy, when I catch her ironing, it happens right there at the ironing board.
Get on.
Because them kids don't really come in the laundry part of the house. Boy, we be right there in that ironing board.
The ironing board can hold weight.
No, man, I like when we walking up the steps and I'm behind her. That's it.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Ironing is not sexy.
Yeah. Sir, when my baby lean over and be ironing, God, dog. That is the greatest thing in the world. Now I be like bringing clothes.
Anybody at my house, once I take one of these pills, it's on. But they cost $45 damn.
Jay, do we have to hear about the pills?
Something going down. I tell you that.
Do we have to hear about these pills every time?
Down, shit.
The cost of the pills, all of that, every time,
Every single time.
Yes. Okay, so here's another tip. So when you're thinking about it early, start texting. Because it takes women a little longer. We're not as ready, set, go as you guys. So it takes us a long time to longer time to warm up, to get where you guys already are and have been.
I have another problem with that because I'm such a bad speller. And then I text, I'm going to tear that grass up. And you...
I'll tear that grass up. I love that.
It's so ridiculous.
I can't spell.
With it. One more time.
Girl, when you get home, I'm going to tear that grass.
She's looking at her phone like, what?
That's what she gonna say. She say, good, because I've been asking you to cut it.
Yeah, you're lazy.
You're lazy son.
And another thing.
Oh, God.
Let that toilet seat down and take out that garbage.
Yeah, you have to be a good speller to tell.
That was funny. Okay, so they say eat frisky, friendly foods, like oysters, things like that. Foods that say that they're aphrodisiacs.
Well, don't eat Doritos.
Yeah,
they don't want you to eat food.
You learn the hard way.
Because Cool Ranch on your breath is not cool.
Exactly.
It smells a lot like a ranch. But cool is your breath do smell like a ranch, but ain't nothing cool about it.
That's exactly what they say.
Don't eat Doritos, dog.
Avoid foods that cause bloating and bad breath. That's exactly what they say.
And cigars are not helpful.
No. At all.
No.
Boy, you don't know how many times I got to.
But you love your cigars.
Yeah, but I know.
So what do you do, gargle?
Well, before I go to bed, gargle. I have to brush. First of all, I have to wash my mustache.
Oh, really, Steve?
Yeah, and I got
incident through the rinse cycle.
My lips is a whole nother separate bath. My lips is a whole separate bag.
You gotta put your lips in the lip sync, right?
Yeah.
That's 3
Then
bags.
I got to brush my teeth with toothpaste.
Okay.
Then I brush them with Listerine.
Okay. Wow.
Then I rinse with Listerine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All right.
then, I go eat something cool and refreshing like a mint.
Yeah.
But don't come in there at all.
With cigar breath.
No, because I actually live with a bloodhound.
Yes. Oh, Marjorie
Women
has that.
can
No.
smell
Yeah.
You smell like an ashtray. Okay, cool. That can't come in here. Yeah.
Then it says access your wardrobe.
Yes.
Wear something sexy that your woman might like or your guy might like. So what would that be for you, Jay?
Draws. That's it. Get going. Junior, what you got, man?
Draw. I'm in them.
I got a suggestion.
What, Steve?
If you decorate a jockey strap, it takes
like-
on a whole nother.
What, like bling it out?
bling it out?
You can bling
Bedazzled?
it out,
What did you say?
put a little print on it, leopard.
Okay. All right. Tommy?
Put a snake mouth on it.
I'm coming to bed
Viper with
with
fangs on it.
a T-shirt tied in a knot.
What?
So the last thing
Why
you
would
want
you
is
be
this-
in there with a t-shirt?
You don't want this shirt to go up. You do not want this shirt to go up.
We gotta go.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Time now, guys, for Would You Rather. Would you rather sleep without a pillow or sleep without a blanket? Which one?
Pillow. I got to have a blanket.
Yeah.
Because I'm naked. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I sleep naked. I got to have a blanket.
that part.
Now, it's going to be rough without a pillow, but it cannot happen without a blanket. The blanket provides too much comfort.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You ever pull that extra blanket up and then that extra warmth just sank you into that sleep deeper?
Yeah, they even have those weighted blankets now that help you sleep.
I
They
got
have
that.
some weights in them.
Woo.
You got one?
I keep a blanket. What? I got a bunch of them.
Does it help you sleep? I don't have one. Does it help you? He said he has one.
I said I had one.
Well, she asked you a
I asked
follow-up
you.
question and you ignored her. Is what she's angry about.
I couldn't hear.
I'm mad.
I couldn't hear.
Let
me say it again.
What I said.
It helped me sleep better because Jackie got
Hey.
the air on 50. I just answered.
Man.
Are you on a delay?
Dog.
All right, we're moving on.
Dog.
Can
You
you-
all right, Tommy? It's a little delay right now. It's throwing us
Okay.
off because you're normally real sharp and quick, and right now you got that little dull marble thing working. So we're just trying to figure
Well,
out.
it's not me.
Okay.
It's not me.
All right. We're moving on. Would you rather
Take
tell
two.
your mate? Would you rather tell your mate everything you did yesterday? Tell your mate every single thing you did, or would you rather buy her a car?
I'm buy a car.
Woo! You can't tell her what you do yesterday.
She asks us this every other day. Quit. Always something about
No.
a mate. I mean, this.
Just in case you
I'm
done
buying a
said
fleet.
something real crazy.
The argument I'm trying to avoid, Shirley. I don't need the argument. I'll
So you're
a
gonna
car.
buy her a car? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you gon' so when I
Buying a
called,
fleet.
you didn't have time to talk to me, but you was where at the golf store with who? See, no.
Yeah.
Here's a car. Here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like that. All right. Would you rather do 5 different positions every time you were intimate or only one position forever?
Variety's the spice of life. I just said
Yeah,
5.
I need that 5.
So 5 different
Five.
times every
Yeah.
single time
yeah,
yeah.
I'll do that.
or only one position
Yeah.
forever?
No, I like that 5.
Okay.
Nah, we gotta have them 5.
All right, lovers.
That
All
quarterback and center. Woo!
Yeah. See, we need 5. We need
All right.
not one
So 5.
every single time. Same damn thing. Hold on, man.
You're getting bored. All right, that's today's version of Would You Rather.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, our very own J. Anthony Brown is always here with the foolishness. Can count on him. He's got details on his brand new book. Tell us about it, Jay.
I just finished my new book, Steve, and it's called 101 Ways to Start an Argument. Several chapters in the book. Chapter 1, laugh on the phone for no reason. Just laugh.
That'll start an argument?
Yeah, it will start an argument. This is how you start
you laughing at?
Yeah. Here's chapter 7 is a real good chapter. Take a shower in the middle of the day. Just shower. Where you going? No, I'm just showering. That's a On Sunday, this is a good one for Sunday. Say, I'm going to a different church by myself. That's what you say on Sunday.
That's not arguing.
Yeah, it's gonna be some hell up in there. Yeah. Well, who over there?
Here's another one. Ways to start an argument. Yeah. Put an empty bag in the closet and just walk away. Just put it up there and just walk away. Like, what's in there? Don't worry about that. Don't go up there. Don't go up there.
What you mean, don't go up there?
Yeah, don't go up there. Don't go up there. All right, ways to start an argument. Say this phrase right here. This really works. Say, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
And leave. Just leave. Just leave. I'll be right back.
Where you going?
I'll be right back. Don't worry about where I'm going. I'll be right back.
What you mean, don't worry about it?
Yeah. Oh, that's all.
You just walk out of here.
Sure. What? You use this phrase right here on the phone. This really gets an argument going. Say, good job, Becky. I'll see you tomorrow. And then hang up the phone.
Becky?
Becky with the good hair, Becky?
Becky.
Why the hell you got to encourage Becky?
Yes.
What you done? Some damn good job, Becky. What she do so damn good? Well, your black ass got to be commenting on it.
This is from my new book, How to Start an Argument. Ask your mate, your lady, when's your friend coming over here? When the...
Oh, my God.
Oh, you lost
You can't do that.
Mike?
She ain't been over here in a while. When's she coming back?
She's single, huh? Ain't she single?
Oh, no.
Yeah. That starts an argument right off the top.
Yeah. These are pretty good, Jay, arguments right here, boy.
Ways to start an argument. No matter what movie she say she want to go to, you say, I seen it already. I seen it already.
Oh, you're done.
Oh, you going to movies now? Oh, okay.
You had time to go see it.
You saw Hustler already?
Boy.
Yeah, I seen that. Well, let's go to I seen that. I seen it. Here's another one. Here's another one. Ways to start an argument. You on the phone and you laugh real damn loud and then you start whispering.
Jay, you've been married a bunch of times, boy.
And this is why he's divorced.
Jay,
you know how to run somebody off, dog.
Jay, can I give you one?
Give me one. I'll put it in the book. Go ahead.
Buy your wife some running shoes for her birthday.
Oh, Steve.
Wow.
Oh, so I'm fat now?
Too far.
I thought you liked this color.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You don't like yellow?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Yeah. Buy some running shoes.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Ooh, Steve,
all of a sudden, in the middle of the day, you put on a clean shirt.
You woke up in one shirt and put on another. Oh.
What you change your shirts for?
Can I just put on a new shirt?
No.
No, you cannot. What was wrong with the old
Hey, Jay, can this go in the book, Jay?
Can I just add one more?
Last one more.
One more. You ready?
Yeah.
Come on. Ways to start an argument in your house, guaranteed.
Come on. What?
Come in from work and pull your pants off and ain't got no drawers on.
All right, thanks, Jay and Steve.
You just commando with it.
The nephew up next with today's
prank
phone call. Right after this.
What's wrong?
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after, it's my strawberry letter for today. The subject, she acts like a bitter old biddy.
Girl,
bitter old
You're scared.
Sure.
You're scared me for a minute.
Edge. You and your subjects.
Bitter old bitty. Let me be clear.
Okay.
I know. Wait till you hear this.
V-I-T-T-Y. Okay.
All of that. But right now, it is time for the nephew and the prank phone call for today. Neff, what you got?
I left my medicine in your house. All right. That is Cat Dog. If you would, we're going to strategically dive into this one. If you're driving right now, I think you should pull over because this one right here, this home run hitter, this classic Nephew Tommy. I left my medicine in your house. Let's go.
Hello, I speak to Clarence? Yeah, this is he. Who is this? Hey, Clarence, hey, my name's Sherman, dog. Your house is the one that got broke into last week, right? Yeah, man. Just waiting on the police to get back with me. Tell me if they found these people or not, man. So, now, hold on. What's your name again now? Sherman. How you hear about it? Oh, no, I stay a couple streets over. Everybody in the neighborhood kind of heard that y'all had got broke in on. Yeah, man, everybody been kind of real good around here, man. It just don't make no sense, man. You go out here and work hard for stuff, and then, people just do you like this, man. I'm just glad wasn't nobody hurt, man. My wife and my son, they alive, and that's the best thing, man. So, try not to cuss with some like this happen, I understand, man. I do. You stay a couple streets over, you say? Yeah. Hey, let me say this to you, man. I want to say first of all, I hate what happened. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. And I do, man. And I'm glad your family and stuff. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Well, hey, man, can I just say this here, man? And I don't really know how to say it, but I was with the two dudes that had broke in there. I was with them when they did that. Okay, did you just say you was with them that broke in my house? So you broke in my house. No, see, that's why Clarence, that's what I'm calling you, trying to tell you. I was trying to talk them out of it. You know what I'm saying? Well, what the happened? Because they did the I couldn't talk them out of it. But I was. But I wasn't in there taking nothing, is what I'm saying. Okay. Well, who was in there taking it then? Man, I can't do that. I ain't trying to get in the middle of that. No, you can do that. You just called my damn phone. Oh, you can tell me who broke in here. You was one of the who else was it with you? That ain't even the reason why I called, man. I don't give a damn what the reason you called me. You called me. Broke in my. Who was with you? Who was with you? Man, matter of fact, what street you stay on? Let me say this to you, man. That's the reason why I called. See, when we was in there, and then they started screaming and hollering at each other, then saying we got to hurry up and get out. Like I say, I was in there trying to talk them out of that. I don't give a if you tried to talk them into it. You broke into my house. You got the audacity to call me. Okay, but listen, man. Listen to me, man. I'm listening to you for. While I was in there, man, and we was getting out of there in a hurry. I actually left. My pills fell out of my pocket. My bottle of pills, man, my medicine. And I don't got no more refills on it, man. And I need my medicine. That's why I'm calling you to see if you don't mind me coming back over there to get my pills. I don't give a about your medicine. Who gives a about? I tell you what. Ask me about some medicine. Dog, I was just caught up in a bad situation, man. I swear to God, if I see you over here, I swear to God, I'm gonna beat your ass. Dog, I'm gonna beat your ass. You better be glad my son wasn't in my house. Man, listen, man, I'm not trying to have no problems with nobody. I just need my medicine, man. Your medicine. You got problems with me. Dog, I don't have no more refills on that medicine. I need my medicine. I'll get sick. I tell you what. Come get your medicine. You know exactly where I stay at. I'm gonna have the front door open. You ain't got to break in this time. Come get your medicine. I swear to God, you gonna need more than just that medicine. I'm gonna put some on your ass. I swear.
Man, why you taking it out on me, man? And I'm the one that was in there trying to talk him out of it.
You was with the that's the point. Bring them too. Tell them to help you come get your medicine.
So all I want to do is get my medicine and be through with this. That's all I'm trying to say to you. I ain't trying to start no trouble with you.
Start no trouble. You broke into my house. You know what? I tell you what. This here. I tell you what. Come get the medicine. Come get the medicine right now. I'm at what street you stay on? I'll bring it to you.
Hey, man, I'm not finna go back and forth arguing with you, man. I'm finna come over there and get my medicine, and, man, you're gonna be through with each other.
You ain't got to go back and forth, I tell you what. Come on over here. Get your medicine right now. This evening, you're gonna need some more medicine. They gonna come break in my house. You broke into my I take care of my wife and my kids in this house.
I understand that. And I will not be back in your house after I get my medicine.
Who the is you hollering at? Dog, I tell you what, no. You ain't gonna be back in my house after you get this medicine. You gonna have a permanent new residence. I swear to God, you're gonna be living in the cemetery.
Listen, I got one more thing I need to say to you before I get over there. Is you listening to me?
Say that on your way over here.
I'm gonna say it. I'm on my way now. I got one more thing I need to say. Is you listening?
Well, say it then.
This is nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You just got pranked by your sister Bree. Hello?
Who the is this?
Hey, man. Hey, class, this nephew Tommy, man, from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Your sister Bree got me to prank you, man.
Boy, you play too much. I don't believe this.
She said, man, they broke in my brother's house. He needs spirits lifted. She said, come on, call him and get it.
You know what? You damn near had you a well-whooped ass. Oh, man, boy, y'all wrong for this here.
Oh, man. Hey, man, let me ask you something. What is the baddest radio show in the land?
It is the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Listen, bro, hey, and if the that broke in my house is listening, you can come back over here. If you left your medicine, come back and get it. I'm at home right now.
If they listening, they can come on back over there now?
Yeah, right now. Bring your ass. Boy, y'all wrong for that. Ooh, nephew Tommy.
I don't know nobody better than me. I hate to say it. You know what I mean? I am the Steph Curry LeBron of prank.
I get it.
When you leave your medicine in somebody's house that y'all broke into, come on, man. Come on. And you call back for your medicine. Come on, man.
That's genius.
What? You was with them blankety banks in my, what? And got the nerve to call. Boy.
You are really a dumb criminal. You left your medicine.
Yeah. What are you robbing people and you're sick for anyway?
Yeah, you're sick. Right.
But let's not let me go through any more complications. You know what I'm saying? I understand they stole your stuff. I got that. But help me out here with my medicine, all right? Come on,
do me a solid.
Come on, man. Have a heart, brother. Have a heart.
Wow. All right. Thank you, nephew. Coming up next, it is the Strawberry Letter. Subject: she acts like a bitter old biddy. We'll get into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Eric Andre. I made a podcast called Bombing about absolutely tanking on stage. I'm talking about your most miserable experience as a performer. I tell gnarly stories, and I talk to friends about their worst moments of bombing in all sorts of ways. Bombing on stage, bombing in public, bombing in life. Like the time I stole a girl's phone during a set and she jumped on stage and threw a big haymaker punch to my nose. I want to know what's the worst way they've ever bombed or performed way too drunk or high. And was there ever a time where they thought they were going to crush and they stunk it up? Subscribe to my podcast, Bombing with Eric Andre, to hear more crazy stories from me and my friends. I'll have guests like Sam J, Dulce Sloan, Michelle Buteau, Mac DeMarco, DJ Doug Pound, Saturday Night Live's Sarah Sherman, and more. Listen to Bombing with Eric Andre on Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
In 1973, Penthouse magazine launched Viva, one of the first erotic magazines for women. It was staffed by feminist writers and featured full frontal male nudity.
It was going to try to be for women what Penthouse was for men.
But Viva had one bulging obstacle. Its porn king publisher, Bob Guccione.
I mean, here he is, a guy wearing open shirts down to his waist and chains.
I'm Jennifer Romolini, and my new podcast, Stiffed, is the true, uncensored story of Viva magazine.
The covers were gorgeous. Inside it was gorgeous. It was so well produced. And I thought, this is a work of art. I just loved looking at it.
How did a scrappy group of feminist journalists get involved with a porn king at the height of the sexual revolution? What were they trying to say? And were they doomed to fail? Listen to Stiffed on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, time now for today's Strawberry Letter. And if you need advice on relationships, dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to steveharveyfm.com and click Submit Strawberry Letter. We could be reading your letter live on the air, just like we're going to read this one right here, right now. It could be yours. You never know.
Buckle up and hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is, the Strawberry Letter.
Subject, she acts like a bigger... Subject, she acts like a bitter old biddy.
I don't know what you got.
Be careful there. Grab those bees and get you in trouble.
Yeah, great day in radio, Shirley. You said that.
No, it won't.
No, it wouldn't have. No, it wouldn't have, Junior.
Yeah, you know when people gonna be talking.
We'll be trending. All right, here we go. Dear Steve and Shirley, I'm a 50-year-old married man, and my wife and I have been married for 11 years. When we got married, I was working on my doctorate degree, and I worked full-time and struggled to take care of her and our newborn child. She decided to start school herself after having our second child. She got her master's degree in 2019, and I expected her to apply for a job, but instead, she decided to get her doctorate degree. This led to more financial stress in our family. The little I made barely covered rent, and the financial strain was great. I had to take side hustles just to make ends meet, and I think this led to a change in attitude for both of us, and we began snapping at each other over the tiniest things. I began to think of what to do to improve our situation, and finally, by the grace of God, I got a great job. I figured it would improve our marriage, but things got worse. She is still snappy, complains all the time, nags me about everything, and she's always tired from school. She hardly takes care of herself, and when I complain, all she says is, who am I trying to impress? Sex between us has dwindled to once or twice a month, and even then, it's a chore. She only allows me to do a quickie, and she starts complaining if I take too long to finish. We hardly talk as husband and wife, and I started sleeping in another room. Anytime she's not home and I'm with our kids, we're all in a good mood. Soon as she walks in, the atmosphere is tense. She acts like an old, bitter, elderly woman, but she is only 41. Is this how ladies act after a while in marriage, or is this a special case? How can I get her back to how she was? Well, I mean, first of all, you guys can talk more as husband and wife, and you got to consider this huge load that she's taken on. She's studying for her doctorate degree. She just had a baby. There's a lot of things going on here. And I'm going to tell you, I honestly think she needs to see a doctor immediately. I mean, she might be suffering from postpartum depression. It's been a while, but if it's untreated, there's still some residual effects here from having this baby. It happens a lot in women, many women after having a baby. And again, she's got a lot on her plate with school, the financial stress. You know, that doesn't just affect you, it affects her and the whole family. Even though you say you have a great job now, it doesn't seem that easy for her to snap back. I'm asking you to be a little more patient with her. And if you guys can afford it, maybe you can get someone to help her with the kids and around the house for a couple of days a week. You know, maybe send her to the spa to see if she can invite her girlfriends over, or ask them to take her out for a girls' night out. Sounds like she needs to get out of the house, do something different than what she's been doing. And it seems like, you know, working on her degree is really, really hard on her. Please be more supportive as a husband. But by all means, make sure she sees a doctor. Steve?
Supportive?
Yeah.
I don't know how else he can be any more supportive. I really don't. Great answer though, Cheryl. I liked your answer. To protect this woman. But in this case right here, I don't see how she needs protecting. I think this woman has to step up and get herself together and make some changes. Now, if it's medical, then, like Shirley said, it could be this postmortem. But the baby was 11 years ago now.
No, she had another one. She had a second child. Uh-huh.
No,
there's some space between there. You're right, but
she's 50-year-old married man. My wife and I have been married 11 years. We got married. I was working on my doctorate degree. I worked full time, struggling to take care of her and our newborn child.
Okay.
She decided to start school herself after having our second child.
Mm-hmm.
She got a master's degree in 2019. I expected her to apply for a job, but instead she decided to get a doctorate degree.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this is too much. The children and the doctorate degree. This led to more financial stress in her family. The little I made barely covered rent. The financial strain was great, which is always a big cause in marriages struggling. Mm-hmm. I took sideline hustles to make ends meet, and I think this led to a change in attitude for both of us. We both began snapping over the tiniest things. I began to think of what to do to improve our situation. And finally, grace of God, I got a great job. I figured it would improve our marriage. But things got worse. She's still snappy, complains all the time, nags me about everything. And she's tired from school. She wanted to go to school. She's snapping. She 41. The dude doing all he can do. Now, let me tell you something, sir. You can't make another person happy. Bishop Jakes told me this one time. He said, Steve, you can't make another person happy, nor is it your job. And if you take on that job to make another person happy, you have taken on a daunting responsibility, because you can't do it. She's not a happy person right now.
Yeah, hang on, Steve. All right, we'll have part 2 of Steve's response coming up at 23 minutes after the hour. Today's Strawberry Letter subject, she acts like a bitter old biddy. We'll get back into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, come on, Steve. Let's recap today's Strawberry Letter subject. Watch caller cringe when I say this. She acts like a bitter old biddy.
50-year-old man, married, got a wife, 11 years. You was working on your doctorate degree and you worked full time. And y'all was struggling, taking care of her newborn. She decided to start school herself after having our second child. She got a master's degree in 2019. I expected her to apply for a job, but instead she decided to get a doctorate degree. So y'all like degrees.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all like making money as much as y'all like having degrees, y'all might be on to something, but we'll just leave that alone. That ain't my business. You know, some people like degrees, so go ahead and get you another one. Somebody once told me, though, a very, very rich man was talking to a group of college students at a big event, like was some type of conference going on. Mm-hmm. And this guy was standing up and he was talking about his degrees and how much he made a year. And he was going to go back to get another degree because he wanted to make a little bit more a year. And if thought necessary, he'd get a third. He said, son, let me ask you something. If you have a degree that ain't working for you, why would you go get another one of them?
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought about that. So I'm just saying that because this might be that problem with this letter. So now, you all barely got through it. So finally, by the grace of God, you got a good job and you thought it would smooth everything out. Well, it didn't. She's still snappy, complains all the time, nags me about everything, and she's tired from school. She said she wanted to go to school. Sometimes, man, you make decisions, and I hate to get spiritual on you, but I got to tell you this, because I've done this myself several hundred times. You make a decision without asking God anything about it. You could go through your plan, and now you're miserable. Because that might not have been the best way to do it. Just because you make a decision and you want to do it, don't make it the right decision for you. So now you're miserable. And now you're making the man miserable. Nags you about everything. She's always tired from school. Now here the part. She hardly takes care of herself. Here we go. Now we're in the dangerous part of the letter. She don't take care of herself. And then when I complain about that, all she says is, who am I trying to impress? Hell, how about me? But see, this woman is tripping a little bit because it's just about her now. I went back to school to get me a doctorate degree. I'm tired. I ain't finna do nothing else. Who am I trying to impress? Me, your husband. Yeah. See, she done forgot the same thing it took to get your baby hook. It's going to take the same thing. Keep it. Sex between us has dwindled down to once or twice a month. See, we're in trouble now. Now you ain't taking care of yourself. And now we having sex once or twice a month. He 50. We got a problem. We got a problem. Ain't anybody finna do this. Twice a month. Okay? I'm just saying.
Why you saying like that?
I'm just trying to.
Because it hurt when you say it.
Yeah,
it hurt when you think about it.
Everybody know that this is time to change your tone because things is finna change. Anybody finna sit up here and do this with you once or twice a month. Now he done got the good job. Somebody down there walking past him looking just like he like it. She taking care of herself and everything. Now I'm all for the institution of marriage. I try to make it work. But now, even when you make love, it's a chore. She only allows me to do a quickie, and she starts complaining if I take long to finish. We hardly talk as husband and wife, and I start sleeping in another room. Anytime she got home and I'm with our kids, we all in a good mood. Soon as she walk in, the atmosphere is tense. That reminds me of a person we used to know is called Black Cloud. See, you got some people who walk in the room with just a black cloud. It's just people walking in the room, just dark, black cloud. Just hear their ass come, damn thunderstorm. Walking in the room, weather change. She acts like an old, bitty, elderly woman, but she's only 41. Is this how ladies act after a while in marriage? No, by any means, nowhere near all of them. But you got the one that do, though. Is this a special case? Yeah, it's kind of special. Now, changes happen in all marriages, and you got to make adjustments, but she ain't making them. So now how can I get her back to how she was? I don't know. Now, Shirley said get her some medical help, but I think it's a mental thing. If you tired all the time, that ain't medical. You done bit off more than you chew. You try to get a degree in something, now you want a doctorate. You know, y'all gonna just keep going to school? I mean, you can do that. Education is great. I think smart is a gift. But sometimes you're doing more than you can handle. And she done bit off a lot. We having sex once, twice a month. You nagging and complaining about everything. You done let yourself go and you ain't taking care of yourself. Me and the kids at home having a good time. You walk in and they change. Cause you evil. I'm not staying with that. I'm not doing that. I'm not staying. No, if you evil, I'm not staying with you. There's a scripture that says, it is better to live on the corner of a rooftop than inside with a quarrelsome woman. That's in Proverbs. I'm not finna do that. And you can't ask a man to do that, ladies.
All right, post your comments.
I feel like I'm dead. Once I feel like I'm dead, I get out the relationship.
Post your comments on today's Strawberry Letter.
That's what that part means. To death do us part. And I feel dead, time for us to part.
At Steve Harvey FM on Instagram and Facebook. Check out the Strawberry Letter podcast on demand. You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Eric Andre. I made a podcast called Bombing about absolutely tanking on stage. I'm talking about your most miserable experience as a performer. I tell gnarly stories, and I talk to friends about their worst moments of bombing in all sorts of ways. Bombing on stage, bombing in public, bombing in life. Like the time I stole a girl's phone during a set and she jumped on stage and threw a big haymaker punch to my nose. I want to know what's the worst way they've ever bombed or performed way too drunk or high. And was there ever a time where they thought they were going to crush and they stunk it up? Subscribe to my podcast, Bombing with Eric Andre, to hear more crazy stories from me and my friends. I'll have guests like Sam J, Dulce Sloan, Michelle Buteau, Mac DeMarco, DJ Doug Pound, Saturday Night Live's Sarah Sherman, and more. Listen to Bombing with Eric Andre on Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
In 1973, Penthouse magazine launched Viva, one of the first erotic magazines for women. It was staffed by feminist writers and featured full frontal male nudity.
It was going to try to be for women what Penthouse was for men.
But Viva had one bulging obstacle. Its porn king publisher, Bob Guccione.
I mean, here he is, a guy wearing open shirts down to his waist and chains.
I'm Jennifer Romolini, and my new podcast, Stiffed, is the true, uncensored story of Viva magazine.
The covers were gorgeous. Inside it was gorgeous. It was so well produced. And I thought, this is a work of art. I just loved looking at it.
How did a scrappy group of feminist journalists get involved with a porn king at the height of the sexual revolution? What were they trained to say? And were they doomed to fail? Listen to Stiffed on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, so Steve, come on, introduce your boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time. I must warn you, it's dark in there, but here we go into the mind of J. Anthony Brown.
All right, Steve, I'm going to need your help on this. The Bible says Peter cussed when he was asked the third time about the fact he knew Jesus. So what I'm going to give you, Mr. Harvey, is some situations in the Bible, and I'd like a little light cussing, nothing over the top, just a little light cussing. Okay. When David was in the lion's den, just David in the lions. Give me a little light cussing, sir. Just a little light cussing. Thank you, said.
It's dark as hell down here.
We don't know if that happened, but we just think maybe he did. Cause how about this one, Mr. Harvey? Mr. Harvey, Jonah in the belly of the whale, when the whale closed up and he in there by himself. Just a little light cussing, Mr. Harvey. Just something real light. Just nothing over the top.
What the hell did you eat?
Okay. All right. These are biblical situations where I think there was some cussing going on. Check this out. Samson wakes up and he discovers all of his hair is gone. Little light cussing, Mr. Harvey. Just something little light.
What did your ass do? Delilah?
Let me hear that again.
What did your ass do, Delilah?
Okay, all right. David, when he first laid eyes on Bathsheba, naked on the top of the building. Little light cussing, Mr. Harvey. Nothing over the top.
Miss Parker.
Right. What David, when he looked at Bathsheba, what did he say, Mr. Harvey? Little light, something light. When Eve came back and told Adam what she did, what did Adam say? Little light cussing, nothing over the top, sir. Nothing over the top.
Oh, hell no. What? Didn't he tell you? Oh, hell no. This woman here. I want my real back.
We gotta go. You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Here's the question. Listen, guys, if you had to fight a wild animal, which animal would you choose and why? A new online survey by YouGov of 1,224 U.S. adults aged 18 and over asked participants to answer the question, which animal do you think you would win in a fight? Humans included. The mighty elephant and fierce rhinoceros won out against more than 30 other predators and prey 74% of the time. So I got to ask you guys, which wild animal would you fight? Junior?
One I can win. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to whoop a wild rabbit's ass. I got him. I promise you I'm going to win that one. I'm not going to lose to this rabbit. I'm not going to fight nothing else. A rhinoceros. No.
That's a weird question, but okay.
Yeah.
You big dog?
Answer?
Yeah.
Oh, I kick a squirrel ass.
Right there. Come on,
I'll start a squirrel ass up there. I'm telling you, any squirrel in the country can whip my ass.
Remember that?
Oh, that running out in traffic, faking back and forth.
What was that you thought you saw in your car that time, Steve, when you looked in the rear view?
Oh, that was a possum.
Oh,
no, that was Tommy.
Yeah.
that was
but
Tommy.
you saw something too when you
No.
looked in the rear view.
A squirrel.
Uh-huh.
I had left my windows open in the garage, and a squirrel climbed up in the back seat and was in the window. And when I get in the car, I started the car up, and I looked in the rearview mirror. I thought a bear was in my, because you know that little sign say objects are closer than they appear. Hey, dog, let me tell you something. I thought it was a bear in that damn car. If you'd have seen me climb out that damn car without opening the door, and it was a squirrel.
That's so crazy.
That squirrel just jumped out the car and just hopped on down the driveway because I let the garage door himself. But that damn Tommy with that possum story.
Yeah.
Greatest.
Tell us that, Tommy. Come on, birthday boy.
All right. So we in L.A., and me and Uncle Steve, you too, Shirley, we got to be on the air at 3:00 in the morning because we're syndicated to Dallas, which is 5:00 in the morning in Dallas. So you got to be there. So I'm leaving 30 minutes ahead of time. I'm leaving so I can get there on time so he ain't mad at me. But when I get on top of the parking structure, my car is backed up against the fence, and it's got one of them. It's a Nissan 240 ZX, and it's got that little pop-up sunroof. You know, it don't go back and forth. It just pop up. Behind the car is a possum on the fence.
Oh God, I would have died.
I done stomped. I stomped. I shoot. I did all that. Now it's about 2:50. I'm finna be late for work for sure. So I said, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get in on the passenger side since I'm backed in, and then I just climb over. So I get in on the passenger side and I close the door. Now, if you know anything about a Nissan 240, when you close the door, there's a seatbelt track that comes right down the side of your face.
Yeah.
Automatically. And I thought his ass was in that car. I was throwing them hands like it was the end of the world. My knuckles were swole. I was bleeding on. My face was scratched up. The greatest ass whooping I ever took.
You thought that seatbelt was the possum?
I thought that was that possum, dog.
So you beat
I thought that was that possum. I thought that possum had come through the top of that roof down on me. The greatest ass whooping I have ever taken, I gave it to myself. Right there.
That is
My
so
man.
Man, I got to work. Steve looked at me, man. What happened? What happened? Who jumped on you?
Yeah,
man, you ain't gonna believe this right here.
I thought we had to go do something.
All right, we'll have more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show coming up at 20 minutes after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, you got some really good news about your stick packs, your new Elevate You stick packs.
Hey, people say I'm the life of the party, 'cause I take my elevate you.
All right now.
The remix,
You
baby.
say I might be fancy, Lord, I'm dancing 'cause I eat the gummies too. Hey, so take a good look at my face. Yeah. You see the smile stays on my face.
Yeah.
And if I get closer to you, you'll see that it's 'cause I elevate you. Whoa, whoa.
That's Elevate You, the R&B version. Yes.
Yeah. 'Cause Elevate You give you soul.
Yeah. Okay.
Elevate You stick packs. You can get these delicious daily vital green drinks in stick pack form. They got the original, tart cherry and chocolate, and we got gummies. The gummies are delicious like eating candy, but it's candy that's good for you. It's delicious. You can increase your metabolism with these. They got some for your immune system, and they got one especially for your digestive system. If you need help in all those areas, and most people do, try Elevate You gummies and stick pack. It's in Walmart right now. Go to Walmart.
All right. Coming up at 33 minutes after the hour, we'll play a round of Would You Rather right after this. You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Time now, guys, for Would You Rather. Would you rather sleep without a pillow or sleep without a blanket? Which one?
Pillow. I got to have a blanket.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm naked. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I sleep naked. I got to have a blanket.
Oh, that part.
Now, it's going to be rough without a pillow, but it cannot happen without a blanket. The blanket provides too much comfort.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You know, you ever pull that extra blanket up, and then that extra warmth just sank you into that sleep deeper?
Yeah, they even have those weighted blankets now that help you sleep.
I
they
got
have
that.
some weights in them.
Woo!
You got one?
I keep a blanket. What? I got a bunch of them.
Does it help you sleep? I don't have one. Does it help you? He said he has one.
I said I had one.
Well, she asked you a
I
follow-up
asked you.
question, and you ignored her. Is what she's angry about.
I couldn't hear.
I'm mad.
I couldn't hear.
I
Can we say it again?
What I said?
It helped me sleep better because Jackie got the air on 50. I just answered.
Man.
Are you on a delay?
Hey, dog.
All right, we're moving on.
Dog. You all right, Tommy? It's a little delay right now. It's throwing us off because you're normally real sharp and quick, and right now you got that little dull marble thing working. So we're just trying to figure out.
It's not me.
Okay.
It's not me.
All right. We're moving on. Would you rather tell your mate? Would you rather tell your mate everything you did yesterday? Tell your mate every single thing you did, or would you rather buy her a car?
I can buy a car.
Woo! You can't tell her what you do yesterday.
She asks us this every other day. Quick. Always something about a mate. I mean,
just in case you done said something real crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
It's the argument I'm trying to avoid, Shirley. I don't need the argument.
So you're going to buy her a car. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you going. So when I called,
a fleet,
you didn't have time to talk to me, but you was where at the golf store with who? See, no.
Yeah.
Here's a car. Here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like that. All right. Would you rather do 5 different positions every time you were intimate, or only one position forever?
Variety's the spice of life. I just said
5.
So 5 different times every single time?
Yeah. I'll do that.
Or only one position forever?
No, I like that 5.
Okay.
Nah, we got to have them 5.
All right, lovers.
That quarterback and center. Woo!
Yeah. See, we need 5.
All right.
Not one.
So 5.
Every single time. Same damn thing. Hold on, man.
You're getting bored. All right, that's today's version of Would You Rather. And at 49 minutes after the hour, we'll be back with our last break of the day and some closing remarks from the one and only Steve Harvey right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Eric Andre. I made a podcast called Bombing about absolutely tanking on stage. I'm talking about your most miserable experience as a performer. I tell gnarly stories, and I talk to friends about their worst moments of bombing in all sorts of ways. Bombing on stage, bombing in public, bombing in life. Like the time I stole a girl's phone during a set and she jumped on stage and threw a big haymaker punch to my nose. I want to know what's the worst way they've ever bombed or performed way too drunk or high. And was there ever a time where they thought they were going to crush and they stunk it up? Subscribe to my podcast, Bombing with Eric Andre, to hear more crazy stories from me and my friends. I'll have guests like Sam J, Dulce Sloan, Michelle Buteau, Mac DeMarco, DJ Doug Pound, Saturday Night Live's Sarah Sherman, and more. Listen to Bombing with Eric Andre on Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, Steve, here we are. Last break of the day. It's been a good Monday.
Excellent Monday.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, Steve. So time for you now to leave us with some closing remarks, like you always do. Some good ones, as usual.
You know, I was thinking the other day, because this year my vacation was more spiritual than it's ever been. And I kid you not, I keep saying it, but God really, really opened up my eyes to a lot of things. And I have no problem sharing it, man. And I've learned so much that I'm kind of aggravated at myself a little bit, that I didn't take the time to sit down and really let his presence speak to me the way I did this year. I'm kind of aggravated at myself that I didn't do this years ago. And I found out real quick that I was wasting a lot of time being mad at myself. Because how many times have you said in your life, if I only knew then what I know now? But you know what I had to come to terms with? I just wouldn't have taken this information and appreciated it the same way. And I think all of us, when we sit back and people ask us questions like, if you could change anything, what would you change in your life? Or if you were talking to your 20-year-old self, what would you say to your 20-year-old self? I don't mind answering that question. What would I say to my 20-year-old self? But the question is often asked, if you could change anything, what would you change? Well, I know a lot of stuff in my life that lasted a lot longer than I wanted to. I didn't think I needed to live in a car for 3 years. After I learned what he was teaching me, it took 3 years for me to get it. I didn't think that I needed to get divorced, but after getting divorced, I learned what he was trying to teach me. Because what you got to understand is behind, and I've said this several times before, behind every moment of adversity, there's a lesson and there's a blessing. And so all the experiences that I've had in my life have led to some incredible lessons and some incredible blessings. Now, the lessons, you don't like them all the time, because being disciplined, nobody likes that. But the blessings you do like. But in every last one of those lessons, if I stayed the course and paid attention, there was always a blessing behind it. So I can't change anything that's ever happened to me, because that's how I became experienced. That's how you've become experienced. That's why you know what you know. That's why you can cope with what you can cope with. A lot of people complain about the hardships that they've had in their life. But what people sometimes don't look at is that in spite of those hardships, I mean, look at you. You survived every last one of them. Not one of them took you out, because you're still here. So instead of steady reminiscing and talking about how hard you done had it, why don't you show some gratitude for the fact that he brought you through it? And I promise you're stronger for it. You get stronger because you've been challenged. You get tougher because you've been whipped on. You know things because you are now experienced. You know how to fight because you've been beat. You know how to get up because you kept getting knocked down. Man, ain't that amazing, man? That sometimes you have to realize that you got to go through some things to end up with some things. I just would not be the person I am today. And you would not be the person that you are today had you not gone through what you gone through. Now, guess what? I got that you was uncomfortable with the fact that you didn't meet your father or your mom passed early. I got you uncomfortable with the fact that you were adopted. I'm got that you uncomfortable with the fact that you had to go through foster care. I got you uncomfortable with all of that. But ain't you still here, though? It didn't break you. But see, if you don't move past the lesson, if you keep going over the lesson, you'll never make yourself available for the blessing. I had to go through this and then I went through that. You keep going over the lesson. I can't believe the Lord let me get adopted and I never met my mother and father. I got that. I can't believe they put me in foster care. They must have didn't want me. I understand all of that. But when you get through saying all of that, have you ever thought that just maybe in there, it made you a little bit stronger, made you a little bit tougher, made you a little bit wiser, made you a little bit more experienced? And in that, there is the blessing. So quit complaining and talking about the lesson and focus. Because behind every moment of adversity, there is a lesson and a blessing. So now, we can't none of us change what happened to us. And probably shouldn't want to, because we wouldn't be who we are today. Those are my closing remarks today.
Amen.
Drop the mic. Done. Have a great weekend. I know it's Monday.
For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit SteveHarveyFM.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Eric Andre. I made a podcast called Bombing about absolutely tanking on stage. I tell gnarly stories, and I talk to friends about their worst moments of bombing in all sorts of ways. Bombing on stage, bombing in public, bombing in life. Like the time I stole a girl's phone during a set and she jumped on stage and threw a big haymaker punch to my nose. Listen to Bombing with Eric Andre on Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the studio who brought you the #1 podcast, The Piketon Massacre.
Breaking news out of Moscow, Idaho.
It was an unimaginable crime.
The bodies of 3 women and 1 man, all 21 or under, were found together.
The victims were attacked with a large knife.
It's a bloodbath.
It's a crime scene investigator's nightmare.
Listen to the Idaho Massacre on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.